Welcome to Innate Express Podcast. I'm Haig, chiropractor in Melbourne, Florida. Our mission is to ground you in service and inspire you to serve at your very best. Let's get started. Hi, welcome everybody to our Innate Express Podcast, where we're showcasing exceptional students. And today I have Nicholas Lim from Palmer Davenport, and we're really excited to have him. And, let's get started. Nicholas, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you've gotten on your journey to chiropractic school where you are now?
So, it's been really a ride, from where it all started. So, on this journey of health. So I started as that really young kid who's always interested about the things that is different or alternative to Western medicine. So, when I was a kid, I always asked my mom, why do we need to take medications? Is that really health? And stuff like that. I didn't know what I was talking about. I just asked her like that. And so, when she brought me to the library, and then one time I heard there's this like health section, once I started going there, every time my mom brought me there, I always would go there and read all this kind of books. And then my mom and my parents, actually family, introduced me to this technique.
You're still there?
Yes. Can you see me?
I can. Everything's good.
Yep. So, so introduced me to this technique it's a Japanese healing technique called Jinshin Jitsu. And at the same time, my parents also and family, they introduced me to chiropractic. Mm-hmm. And because this is a chiropractic thing, I'm probably just going to stick to chiropractic.
That's great. Absolutely. And you're from Singapore, am I correct?
Correct.
Now, are there many chiropractors in Singapore? How did you hear about chiropractic there? You said you put in the library, but, is it very popular there or what?
Yeah, so my family used to see this chiropractor who graduated from Palmer. He's the first Singaporean that graduated from Palmer in 1936, Dr. Terence Yap.
Yeah.
Yep.
And send him a copy of this when we're done.
Yes, and so he was the one who introduced to us to chiropractic. But so that I understood about chiropractic, and I always thought that was the only way of practicing chiropractic. Then later on, through my studies in Jinshin Jitsu, I met a chiropractor that is more practicing the vitalistic approach of chiropractic.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that.
His name is Dr. T.O.Q., and he's been a mentor since then. We connect a lot on a daily basis, and he actually introduced me to a lot of seminars, including Arnold Bernie's seminar, like MLS seminars.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And where are you now in the program at Palmer?
So I'm just started the 9th trimester. So I'm in the AAC seeing patients in the outpatient clinic, and I have 2 more trimesters to graduation in June. Congratulations!
That is a good feeling, I bet, right?
Yeah, I'm done with the most major exams. There's a last try. We took the clinical OSCEs, and we took the OSCEs radiology and all that, and for just basic clinical competency exams to see, and it's a requirement to graduation. So I'm glad I'm done with all those things.
Now, in technique-wise, you said, with MLS, where, Arno's a good friend of mine and been a mentor as well. And then, have you done any other, what are the other ones that you sort of radiate to?
Yeah, so, MLS, I brought MLS to Davenport, and we're going to start club this trimester here. I started the whole thing, and I'm very glad that with all the help that I got and all the support, we finally can get clubs running and going, and we have a good group here. The last seminar, we have over 20 people, and out of nothing, where nobody even knows what MLS is, and 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 so now it's a growing name for sure.
Congratulations.
And this weekend I'm flying to Atlanta to take Syntropy chiropractic training. Who, it's also, they practice a vitalistic approach, and they were also former MLS staff. And I mean, they teach their, I believe they have a lot to bring to the table as well.
That's fantastic. I'm happy for you. And now in seeing people in the clinic, have you been able to apply those principles with, within the clinic, and how are the clinic docs reacting to it?
I mean, I really think I learned a lot from my clinic docs and stuff like that.
Good.
They have been really open to the way I do. They haven't really say anything to me yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope everything will go well.
What I noticed when I was in clinic really was, when you show up and you can show that you know what you're doing. A lot of times they let you, like, hey, this guy or girl or whoever has really got the skill, and a lot of times they sort of let you slide a little bit, and I even got a lot of referrals from the clinic docs, which was really great. Showing up is 90% of the battle. They see you showing up. It's powerful.
And to be honest, going through chiropractic school in the beginning, the first year, especially going through all these classes, you kind of really don't know what's going on in a lot of things. You're just trying to pass the classes, and they can be pretty brutal.
Oh my gosh.
And
yeah.
And so, I was glad, and also I one thing I think that got me through school is joining the Pi Kappa Chi fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
We have chapters in Davenport, we also have in Logan, and we also have in Sherman. Mm-hmm. And I want to shout out to all the brothers there that they gave me a lot and taught me a lot. All the alumni, who gave their tireless time and commitment for us to teach.
Mm-hmm. That the mentorship, that's one of the most important things. Chiropractic school or any graduate school, they're not really there to set up to make you a successful chiropractor, I have to say. It's the mentors and going and visiting offices and practicing and and going to seminars and all those things. That's what really brings success, and having mentors like you have, like, that's fantastic.
And another mentor I think that really made sense to me is Dr. Peter Goldman from San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a guy who taught me that, if you understand healing principles,
mm-hmm.
that you really, it's beyond technique.
Mm-hmm.
You get results beyond technique. If you don't understand healing principles, that's when you don't see the magic, because, the secret is the healing principles. You got that goes through all techniques. As truth is truth.
Truth is truth. What, in a brief way, what would you say? What are healing principles? How can you explain that a little bit to someone that doesn't understand it?
You explain, like, the body is self-healing. And also
Very important. Yeah.
You have to. There's that innate intelligence that that can help. And then you explain that isn't it the brain controls on nerve cell function in the body, and so when there's a misalignment into the vertebra, it's gonna cause nerve pressure, and then you're gonna have what you perceive as pain, and so in order to have healing, you have to relieve those pressure off those nerves. Mm-hmm. And then your body can have can you're not treating anything, you're just basically removing interference so the body can heal itself.
BJ Palmer said, we don't treat the disease, we care for the person with the disease. When you get the person stronger, if those 5-6 principles you just talked about, the subluxation principle, could you imagine if the world knew that? Yeah.
And it's very sad, because I see a lot of, there's a lot of infighting and stuff like that, like, and it's just people want to they want to abandon the principles, but the principles of chiropractic is very beautiful. And that's why I never go to PT seminars or anything like that. But because, you know, even if I want to go, I would go there as a student, but I will not say I'm doing chiropractic. You know, it's totally fine, you know, because, you know, we learn nutrition, we learn all these things. But think about it. You go to a dental office. It's okay to ask the dentist about your blood pressure, right?
Yep.
It's not chiropractic, but we can ask him a question. So that's cool. If people like practice members come to your office and ask you health questions, not chiropractic, that's cool.
Yeah.
But what is not okay is to put something that is not chiropractic and say that it is chiropractic. That's the only thing that I think is very important to know about.
Nicholas, that is just absolutely awesome to hear from a student. And, you know, where you're inundated with so much stuff from the outside. Everybody wants you to sell their widget. They want you to sell their vitamin program. They want you to sell you their shoe inserts and all that garbage. And it's completely away from the principles of chiropractic. And it's just refreshing to hear it. I really love hearing that. And that's really the intention of this, you know, of showcasing students, because, you know, if we're going to preserve and rescue chiropractic in a way, is that we have to get to help the students really understand the principles that you just said just now, will ensure that my 3 and 5-year-old get chiropractic when they're grown up.
Right. And it's very important because, you know, even right now the student population, you know, there's groups out there that is denying subluxation, you know, spreading false rumors to students and stuff like that. And it's very sad because, you know, our forefathers went to jail for it. You know, literally went to jail for chiropractic, and now they are not here. It's not okay to put away all that they know and pursue our own things. You know, even if you want to improve something, but I think the past shouldn't be forgotten.
Yeah. You know, that's it, you're so right on target. And how much blood, sweat, and tears have gotten us to this point, and where these deniers, I really don't even understand where it comes from. You know, there's a lot of history involved with it. And right now, it seems like they're the head of the game. They've taken over schools. They've taken over CCE, NBCE, and everything else. So keep up the good work.
But you know what? I always believe the truth will always prevail, and you know, it doesn't matter what technique you do, as long as you practice true and unadulterated chiropractic, it works. It transcends techniques. As long as you apply the principles, it works.
You are so on target. You know, the energy of chiropractic travels through anything that is physical, from this physical hand through that physical body, and it's a spiritual connection. You can't deny that. And, you know, chiropractic itself has an energy. When you try and add everything in, everybody wants to take that energy and call it their own. Really, you know, they should just call it something else. I don't even know what.
Right. You know, like I always tell people, you know, chiropractic has been defined. You know, our forefathers who created this profession have already defined what chiropractic is.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to define it something else, and it's very important to understand. And that's why it's important to go to all these books that our forefathers have written. You know, the green books. It's written in a way that it makes sense in their time. So, you know, it might not make sense completely at present times, but you got to put in today's context to get the true meaning of it. It makes sense in today's context if you get the whole context of what the book is. It applies. You know, it applies to everything. It's just you got to put into perspective when you're reading all these books, because the language is a little bit different from today's languages that they use.
Well, it's written, you know, like D.D. Palmer's, you know, 1910, the Chiropractor's Adjuster, to adjust chiropractors back to true north, you know, written with, you know, in 1910, but those are writings even from before then. And he goes through a lot of articles that other chiropractors printed, and he's correcting them. So sometimes it's difficult to read. I just had the Chiropractor 1914 by D.D. Palmer, which is a collection of pamphlets that he first started using at Palmer and Davenport. And I had them, they're all written now or spoken. We have a reader, we put them all on MP3. And so we're going to start getting those out. And we started doing BJ's Green Books now as well. And even with this podcast, part of what we're doing is visualizations, meditations, abundance philosophy, students. And then I'm also encouraging people to read Green Books, even if it's one page or a paragraph. Sometimes there's a lot of meat in one paragraph, to read it and then discuss it. And then we're going to post those on our page. So if you're, like you said, sometimes it's tough to read it, but to listen in a group or even in a podcast would be helpful.
Yeah, and I recommend all students to get the Palmer Green Books guidebook. There's 3 authors. I know one is Simon Sensen and all those people, and it's a very good guidebook to help students to know what is contained in each book, so that they know which green book to get. Because otherwise, it's a vast collection, and you don't know where to start.
Oh yeah. Well, the old guys used to break it down. They call it breaking it down. A lot of people like just putting up epigrams, but talking through it. What does this mean? And it's good to get Simon Sensen, which I respect a great deal, and the other people, also reading it ourselves, saying it out loud, talking about it with each other, and then what does that mean to you? There's a lot of power in that. And that's what, when I was in school, we used to do that. We used to sit around on Tuesday nights and talk about Green Books and, all those type of things. So, yeah, I'm so glad to hear that from you.
Yeah, it's really important, and things like that, because and it's so important because chiropractic is so beautiful. That's why there's electives offered in school that is not chiropractic, and I don't want to get. I always believe that I don't need to get certified by someone that's not a chiropractor.
Right.
Or, they won't be even the one signing my certificate. Mm-hmm. So, I want to encourage our students to appreciate the beauty of chiropractic and how our profession all got started. And, maybe in many, many years, and you think if you got it, then maybe you want to check something else, then sure. But for now, just I always believe stick to the principles that chiropractic was founded.
There's beauty in that simplicity. There's beauty in that. It is amazing. People ask me in practice, what should I do for nutrition? What should I do about my colon? And I say, I'm going to adjust the subluxations. Your body will heal it. If you want to talk to my herbalist, I refer to an herbalist. She's down the road. I have, nutrition people. I don't sell pills. I know your body has all the magic in it already. And, if you want to talk to someone, I'll find somebody that is the most knowledgeable and wisest to give you good information. We have more people to serve to adjust their subluxations in my office right now than to spend all day selling vitamins.
Yep. And yeah, like I always say, that's why I encourage our students on top of school to have a parallel curriculum to make sure you understand chiropractic, because school is just to help you to get through boards and all these kind of things.
That's right.
And to be able to license a practice, but then after that you need another curriculum to learn how to be successful and how to be successful in the art of chiropractic and the science and philosophy of chiropractic, because the majority of classes that you learn in school, it may not be what is really the essence of chiropractic.
It's so far from the essence of chiropractic. That's awesome. It's great talking to you, Nicholas.
Yep.
I'm so glad we've connected over the past few months, and you've inspired me. I like it. I like hearing it. Share this with your friends, and and we'll share it around. Thank you for joining in on our podcast. Is there anything you'd like to say to the last few words of wisdom?
No, yeah, I was just really, really happy that, you know, we were able, because I first saw you in Dr. Wade Potts' class in Atlanta, and you came to spoke with us, and you know, you really inspired me, and I was glad that we could connect at this level. And thank you very much.
You're welcome. I appreciate that, and I'm honored to serve. And I feel honored being on this broadcast with you. And I respect it. And keep up the good work. And like we talked about, I can see Singapore being in our mission, innate mission trips, probably 2021. We're going to start working on it very soon.
Sure.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I just want to tell everybody, share this with your friends, post this on your pages, and subscribe and like it. And if you have any comments or questions, or someone that you'd like to say would be great on the podcast, send me a message. Okay, I'm open to you. God bless you. Keep serving, and thank you very much for tuning in. Have a gorgeous day.
You have a great day.